Hi everyone! Do you extend your front leg or bend it on heelside turns? I believe the answer varies from person to person, so I'd like to suggest using different styles depending on the situation. First, let's look at full front leg extension style. A common scenario for this is when you have a gait, pole, like this, and you want to make a sharp 180-degree turn. Wait, who actually finds themselves in that scenario? No one. Alright, at this point, let out a big hup as you make the turn. Can you see how my front knee is locked out and stretched to the max? By doing this, the board stands up at a maximum edge angle instantly, allowing for these kinds of sharp, tight carves. You probably don't need to go for that 180 at the end. Let's watch it again in slow motion. Wind up your body and go for it all at once with momentum. Don't hesitate. Also, keep in mind your head position. Lean it toward the nose in the first half of the turn, and pull it back in the second half. If you don't, you won't be able to stand back up. Don't halfway bend your knee. Keep it pinned and locked. Next up is another example of the full extension style. Here, the front knee is slightly bent, but I'd still categorize this as a max extension type of riding. The key is that I'm actively snapping my front leg straight to force a quick edge change. Now, doing this in slushy snow is actually pretty risky, but I decided to go for it anyway. The main point here, keep your upper body perpendicular to gravity. Imagine your upper body is being pulled straight up by a string. If you lean your head toward your knees, be careful. The head is the heaviest part of the body, so it'll cause the board to flatten out. If your knee is locked and the board is forced on its edge, leaning toward the knee might work, but in my experience, it's better to keep your upper body centered directly above the board. Moving on, let's look at moderate extension style. This is a different approach. First, let me clarify. Whether you're going for a max extension or a moderate one, the intention is always to be extending the front leg. The real difference is just the degree of that extension. This time, I'm showing you the moderate version. In my opinion, this was when my heelside turns looked the coolest. The front leg looks extended by comparison because the back leg is bent more than the front. But the truth is, while you are extending it, the front knee is actually still slightly bent. This was a total trap for me, and it took me forever to realize it. If you look closely here, the front knee is moderately bent. From this angle, it's a complete illusion. It looks like the leg is fully locked out, right? The trap is that if you take that literally and try to force it straight when the snow conditions are bad, you'll actually end up wiping out and be left wondering, why is this happening? I struggled with this for a while, so it's definitely something worth keeping in mind. Now let's move on to another example of the moderate extension style. Here I've got a moderate bend in my front knee. This makes it much easier to fine-tune the edge angle based on the terrain, allowing for a ride that adapts to the conditions. My goal this time was to carve as deep as possible, so I'm using a style that keeps me low and glued to the ground. Now let's see what happens if we do the opposite, keeping both legs bent equally without extending the front leg. If you bend both legs and lean your upper body over like this, the board won't stand up on its edge during the early part of the turn. It just stays flat. As the turn progresses, centrifugal force kicks in as an external power, which finally helps the board tilt. But if you wait until then to set your edge, all that pressure hits you at once. You can't withstand it, and you'll see the board start to wash out. It is just like a car suddenly yanking the steering wheel in the middle of a carve. You're going to slip. That's exactly what's happening here. The board is slipping. Another issue is that if you bend your both knees and crouch down before the board is on its edge, your butt will hit the snow first. Since your butt is already touching the surface, there's a limit to how much you can tilt the board. You literally can't edge it any further. And above all, I'm sure everyone agrees, bending both legs equally just doesn't look cool, does it? My motto is look cool, so this style definitely violates my personal code. Alright, let's wrap things up. Pay attention, because this will be on the final exam. First, let's look at the benefits of the max extension style. The biggest plus is the quick response. Even at the start of the turn when you don't have much centrifugal force, you can force the board to tilt just by extending your front leg, which makes your transitions really fast. Also, by locking that leg out, you can physically maximize the tilt, allowing you to reach maximum edging. On the flip side, the downside is that it's slippery on ice. Since the edge can't bite very deep into icy surfaces, this style puts too much sudden pressure on a single point, which causes the edge to wash out. For the same reason, it's also catchy in slush. The board sinks too deep because the pressure is so concentrated, which makes you lose speed and get stuck. Overall, I'd say it's inflexible because it's hard to make delicate adjustments to your edge angle when your front leg is pinned straight. As for the best conditions, this style is like a special move for Hero Snow. When the conditions are perfect, you can really go for those aggressive carves. It's also great for narrow runs where you need to make rapid-fire transitions. Regarding your center of mass and setup, you should be back-weighted, using your front leg as a strut. For your bindings, you only need minimal lean on the front because you're using your leg to tilt the board manually, and it's just more comfortable that way. But for the back foot, you want maximum lean to keep that grip. In my opinion, this style is very duck-friendly, but of course it works for a forward stance too. It's not about which one is better, it's about choosing the right style for the right moment. Next, let's talk about the moderate extension style. Compared to the max extension style, which is like a one-hit special move, I consider this one more of a versatile standard move that you can use in almost any situation. The main benefit is that it's all around. Because you have some bend left in your front knee, you can adapt to the condition on the fly. This allows you to be controllable, meaning you can delicately increase or decrease your edge angle depending on the snow. On the other hand, the downside is that your transitions will inevitably be sluggish compared to the max extension style. Also, in slushy snow, you have to be careful about a nosedive. Since this style involves leaning into your front leg on the heel side, if you put too much weight forward without adjusting, you'll sink into the slush and lose all your speed. As for where to use it, I'd say it's all around, especially effective on icy runs. Regarding your balance, this is a front-weighted style. Unlike the max style where you stay on the back foot, here you're leaning on your front high back for support. For the setup, I recommend max lean for both feet. Since you're riding over the front of the board, having that forward lean gives you better response and allows you to rely on the high back. The back foot is also at max lean to ensure grip in the latter half of the turn. This style is very forward stance friendly. Most forward stance boards have a good amount of setback and a solid nose, so they're designed to keep you from flipping over or burying the nose even when you're riding front weighted. For advanced riders, you might find it less tiring during moderate extension riding to have no forward lean on the front and just a moderate amount on the back. As I mentioned in my other videos, our main goal here is to give you the ultimate tips to rapidly improve your carving. Once you've mastered these techniques, feel free to adjust your setup to what works best for you. It's all about evolving your own style. Here's a quick message from Carving Like a Pro channel. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really fires us up and keeps our motivation through the roof. Also, if you have any questions, requests for future videos, please drop a comment. We want to know exactly what you need so we can reflect that in our next upload. Our mission here is simple, to solve your carving problems. We created this channel to share the tips that actually worked for us, hoping to help those stuck in a slump or just starting their carving journey. Thanks for your support, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching until the end.